is this wall of gravel that's shown here with the contours, and then we're going to walk through the rest of it, which would be the areas that are right in here. This is the area that's being proposed. This area down here is not being proposed at this time, or being proposed at all.
Flip?
No, that was. This is a combination of two maps. This is a combination of the reclamation map done by Jim and the multi-sector general permit plan done by myself to show the reclamation and the areas of the extraction, which is through this area, around the corner on the side, down that side. This is the wall, or the bermed area between the Griffith Falzo and the Griffith Abbott pit, and then, which would be downhill, which we'll see, that's where the stormwater retention pond is, and then again, that is that other area down that's in the meadow and field down towards Griffith Hill. And then overall, so you have an understanding of what we're going to be looking at. As of right now, we're standing, right in here on the aerial. Griffith Hill is that way. The new connection would be here into the Abbott pit, and then connection into the Fuller pit, which we were just standing at here. This also shows that area that Bill Burke talked about as being reclaimed by 2020 as a reclaimed field. But again, we're down in this area, and that stormwater basin would be right here, and then that area obviously is field down to Griffith Hill. So these are here if anyone wants to look at them.
All right, so the extraction area, does it encompass from here to here?
It does not. It goes down through, up, reclaiming this wall, and then back there, which is, I'll flip back over. This is the Abbott pit. There is, you'll see the cut that they went through to bring the equipment in for the test, but that is approximate, we'll be driving through there. That is, right now, the Abbott pit is a grandfathered pit that is still being operated by Ken Abbott.
Bill, a good point of reference is this gate here shown on the access coming off of Vance and Dulcie Griffith's property, which would be down right. You can see where those poplars are comes back across the hill. That's where the property line.
All right, so that the top of that berm, see the nice pine tree there?
Yep.
Is located where?
That's, right now, that's like, I think, this general area.
So all of that comes out?
Yeah.
All that material.
We'll see the far wall once we walk in, and I'll be able to explain it, show it on the map again.
So this is the original Griffith grandfather's pit, correct?
Yes.
And then that was broken through when the property was subdivided?
I can't answer that.
I'm concerned about this area.
Nothing's being proposed in that area.
Why is it there?
It's, I don't understand.
We just,
It's part of the property.
Of the right size, I could topo the whole site, show this topography, the entire site, show which areas are wooded.
But because this says basin outfill, and it's coming out of here. So I have questions about that.
Did you say that this would be taken down as part of it?
The tailings material is going to be used in part as backfill in the reclamation.
So will this go down to grade?
It will. I don't know exactly what the grade was, but it will be finished off so that it's kind of crowned and shedding stormwater in different directions and not concentrating stormwater. Extremely permeable material. It's mostly cobble.
So what's acting now as a berm down below will no longer exist? Is that?
Well, I guess I'd like to address that. This is, in the proposal, is being cut 30 feet. So basically, the footprint that's here is what is being taken out. It's just being lowered so that the reclamation plan can be put in place.
So what I'm trying to understand is what is
when
acting as a buffer
will be 30 feet lower, so there'll actually be a natural grade there.
So you're still proposing to leave a berm
Yes.
that is
Yes.
not this?
Is that the 750-foot bottom
bottom level that I saw in there?
As far as elevations, Lynn, I'm not good with actual the numbers, but
But that's what you're aiming
that's
for?
that's
Okay.
yeah,
So you're proposing to take this down 30 feet?
yeah. It's to work this area here. Yes.
Okay.
Because if you see in
As
general,
soon as-
the
as
footprint
soon as
isn't
you
growing,
come
it's
in-
just going down.
From that level down there, which is roughly 30 feet, you will begin, correct me if you disagree, Paul, but you will begin to ramp down into the pit as soon as you cross the toe, right where the road breaks.
It'll be almost level with the site as opposed to going down.
So in terms of staging the plans to do this, are you thinking of leaving this for a while as a noise buffer
There
until...
will be always the protective cover, yes.
So is that detailed in your plans, how you're staging it, so that there will always be some protective buffer here or not? Or will there be a time where this is gone, but you haven't gone down 30 feet yet?
No, there won't.
Thank you.
What's going to be the scale in reclamation?
Go with numbers on that, please. The scale.
Numbers now.
I guess they might.
Basically, what is the overall concept here is, instead of leaving a large open hole with relatively steep slopes on it, as we have right now, this is a very advantageous location for Tom to backfill some of his tailings material from the plant. And that will be a benefit in stabilizing the site because of the steep slopes. So when we get to looking at our reclamation plan in the town office, you'll see how we've developed a terrace landform, basically backfill the bulk of the pit and stabilize the soils.
We can discuss that back here, but my point is, if you're going to drop this 30 feet,
It's going to be a 1-on-3 is the average. Is what
Okay.
I thought that was the question I took from it. Is
Yeah.
you were asking what the
Right.
average slope? Yeah, it's a 1-on-3.
particularly if you're dropping this 30 feet.
Yeah, but with the reclamation plan, it's sort of like the project from the other. We have the excess sand that we put into the banks, so that we actually it's beneficial to us to have a reclamation area.
Okay.
And
I can get into the slopes a little bit more on the reclamation plan when we get inside.
what's the depth to groundwater here?
It was not intersected in the test pits that
So how deep did...
we
Debated
went
on
into
site
30 feet
down
in
to-
range, and there's no site at that.
And is there a bedrock? How is it all gravel here, or what's the geology?
We didn't hit any bedrock.
there could be knobs of bedrock.
Okay.
It's carbonate bedrock, so
Yep.
it could be up and
Yep.
down in some locations.
Thank you.
Groundwater, my only indication of where there may be groundwater here is down towards the town road, where you start to see some seepage. But
Who are you with?
I'm Jim Purdy, geomapping.
Oh, hi,
fixer.
Annette Smith. Yeah, nice to see you. I recognize your name on things.
You know my
Jim wants you.
Yes, sir.
That's right. Especially with my camera on. I wasn't going to bring this, but after last night, girl.
No, I'm bothering. Haven't seen you in here. Oh, hi. I'm bothering.
This is where the brook got buried.
Oh, yeah?
Right here, I have pictures of that.
A nice channel straight down.
Oh, yeah. Well, and the idea that they're going to take that wall down is concerning.
Falgo pit and the Abbott pit. The cut was made to bring the equipment over, which is obviously the machinery sitting here, was brought down through. It was decided to do that because honestly, this would be able to be replaced instead of coming in around the Griffith Hill and up that road, where we'd have to improve the crossing over where the culvert is, and cut a lot of different trees to make sure this equipment could get in all at once. So that's why the cut is actually existing, but that is the area where it would be proposed for the trucking to go across. On the pit elevation, we again are standing approximately here, looking at the wall that would be reclaimed on a 2-to-1 slope, with the benches being an overall 3-to-1 that Jim had mentioned. The machinery is sitting right in this general area, and the stormwater basin for retaining of water that might overrun during operations is, you can't see it, but it would be down in the lower area to your right.
Where is your boundary on this side? Who owns what's here?
Abbott.
Oh, okay.
Oh, this is the boundary with Abbott, which is pretty much the top of the ridge, going down through.
And on the other side of that as well?
Yes.
Yes.
The large oaks are on the way.
What are the red circles?
The red circles are just stockpile areas. That's part of the multi-sector general permit, for they could have finished product or different separated sands from the screen, so they can be trucked back in for use in asphalt or other operations.
And then the idea is that the areas that are shown that are sloped would be reclaimed using tailings from the other pit?
From this pit and the other pit, yes.
Okay.
The little roadway we see down below here that goes off to the right, where does that go?
The one that just circled around?
Yeah.
That's just, it's just a circular road in here. I think we should be able to walk that when the equipment is not moving, obviously.
It comes out right there. It's
But yeah, we
right
just
there.
walk past it.
Yeah.
And you can see some of the track marks are here from the equipment just moving around, getting set up for this demonstration.
Can I ask a question? Why does it say gravel pit abandoned here when that is South Main Street? Because this is Whalen.
Here's Main Street.
Right.
As I surveyed through this area, the steepness of the slopes gave me a good indication from what I've seen in my past experience that was
A gravel pit there. I don't
Way back.
believe so. Well, way back.
way back.
Not 1900s.
I'd be speculating, but it showed all the signs of having been worked.
Where the pond is now, you mean? Where the
No,
filled-in pond
no.
is?
No, that would be down
That would be right
this
here.
little road right here.
What little road?
See these 2 lines right here in the culvert? That separates this little pond area from this an extraction area.
Yeah, well, maybe you can point that out when we're there.
That'd be
Thank
fun.
you.
Are there any further questions standing here?
What's the depth of this pit right now?
Depth of the pit
This-
measured from
From, like, where we're standing?
You got your contour.
Depth of this pit or the Abbott pit?
The depth of where the equipment is right now. It's down lower than we are. I just want to know how much lower.
Are you trying to get a feel for what
Yeah.
30 feet looks like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have Converse in there.
That's actually a
I don't
30-foot
have
cut
my-
from that.
Okay, so that's a 30-foot cut
No,
from...
that's going down 30 feet. This
Okay.
is just
we need
kind of something that the previous contractors didn't extract.
that. I've got the levels shown on my plans, so I can answer that.
Okay, at the hearing, thanks. I just would be helpful to understand.
Sedimentation pond though is going to have like a berm or something. Is that what this?
Yeah. That's
So
a berm
that's
to
gonna
block
be-
it up and to build a berm to block up an area, yeah.
But that's not existing at this point. It's somewhere like down below
That
us
needs to be
east.
constructed.
So the sedimentation pond's an embankment pond. You build an embankment to, it's not a hole.
Cut and fill.
All right, so now we are going to proceed with step 3 of our site visit, namely the sound test.
Can I ask one more question?
Sure.
Tom, I'm sure you can answer this. So you're envisioning that part of the reclamation will be towings from the other pit. Do towings come from your current activities with blasting, and does that mean that continues, or does this pit make it so the blasting's not necessary? Does both operations still continue, or?
Yeah, they're not really. They're part of our operation, but a different part. sort of like you say, we have a trucking part and a grading part. You know, this is a natural resource that we use and have product use, mainly sometimes towns, municipalities, and things like that. We also have a small percentage use in available for this product over there as well.
Okay. And is this the kind of sand and gravel that would be road
The town
grade?
hauled out of here for probably 15 years when I actually worked for them back in the 80s. We screened in here for the town.
I remember.
As an employee, I worked for the town screen. Yeah. So.
All right, for the sound test, the commissioners are all, and myself, I have to stay with the commission because I have to sort of understand what they hear. So the question is, from the adjoiner neighbor standpoint, and from the applicant, help me out a little bit. You're all welcome to observe the sound test from whatever location you personally would like to observe it from. But we're stuck essentially observing it from one location. And so our target for that would be the neighbor or prospective party here most likely to be affected adversely by the sound. So anybody want to lay claim to that?
I can take that.
That's where we're going to go anyways, Halligan's Body Shop.
All right. So that's where we will be observing the sound. And since we're not all necessarily going to be at Halligan's, plan to meet us. The sound demonstration, I would say, is going to be plus or minus 10 minutes. They're going to operate all the machinery. They're going to back equipment up to get the backup beepers going. And we're looking for maximum noise under ordinary operational conditions. So about 10 or 15 minutes worth of that, then you can expect we'll get it back in our cars, head to the town office. And
Can I get a sense of the parameters of this? If it's going to be down there where it's buffered, it won't show us what this area sounds like. So will there be any activity in this area?
Well, I guess the screen will never be up here, so it wouldn't make sense to put the screen up here.
Is the earth mover that you put everything in and move it to the screener, is that going to be demonstrated today?
The screen is actually always fed by an excavator in our operation. That's a track machine that moves with the excavator.
And then when you get your rock, you carry it one by one
With a loader,
back?
yes.
With a large loader?
Yeah,
And,
and
is
the
that gonna
motors
be
are here,
running?
yes.
Mhm. Mostly I see that earth truck carrying things back and forth. I was just hoping that was going to be running today.
I didn't know you could see our operations from anywhere.
From my house, from my
Oh.
upstairs windows, I see everything. Yeah.
So I just want to be clear on what we're going to be hearing and what we're not going to be hearing. We're only going to be hearing what's going on here. We're not going to be hearing anything that's going on here, right, for the demonstration.
Yeah, but it would be...
That's all. I just needed to know what we're hearing.
We would never operate up here, so, yeah.
What do you mean you would never operate
The
up here?
screen would never operate up here.
But the other equipment would.
Yeah, I mean, if you want, we can run a loader around up here.
Would you like that, Ingrid?
I mean, that's fine. That's,
I think it's the dumping of the rocks.
Yeah, I mean, that's really the hard noises that you hear.
That's going to be down there.
Yeah, we're going to be operating at regular, normal levels, how this operation will operate. So everything that's done will be done the way it's being done to process.
So you're going to be taking
There'll be
the
rock,
loader
there'll be
over
everything.
there, and then you're going to bring it back and make a load into the conveyor belt.
Well, that's not the way it's done. See, we're going to do it the way it's actually done, which the excavator will be feeding the screen. Yeah, and maybe I should be clear, because I'm sorry, for some people, you're not all been in the aggregate industry. The screen plant, which, did everyone get a chance to see it? That's a tracked unit that we use. So that unit actually can go with the excavator. So that excavator will actually just sit there and feed that. If they say move this bank back, which it would take a few days, the screen would back up with it. So you don't actually, for our operation and the way this operation will be run, you don't actually load into a piece of equipment to haul to the screen. The screen actually always stays with the bank. And that's why when we propose the cut, it's going to be, the screen will always be in the cut. And it's the way the contractor previous looked like they were operating, because we just set up where the last operator was.
So it's going to move from north to south, is what
Yes.
you're saying. Start there and then be moving.
Yes.
Will there be trucks backing up and stuff here?
No.
So now I'm confused. So you're saying there won't be any activity up here. It's all going to be coming from below.
The closest activity you'll see is that piece of equipment, which is roughly up here, because that will come this way.
Thank you.
Yes.